Jim Griffiths again. We're going to continue on now with the overview over disciple leadership models, and this was developed by a situational leadership model by Paul Hersey. Thus far, we looked at the four chair model, and that was developed by Dan Spader, and we overlaid the four chair model onto the Paul Hersey situational leadership model. In addition to that, we looked at Disciple Shift by Jim Putman, and we overlaid that also on the situational leadership model, four quadrant representative of a relationship and task oriented type activities. Now keep in mind, these models are relationship driven and is driven by the maturity of the followers and their behavior and their maturity. Behavior is defined as task and knowledge, or more specifically, their ability to perform a particular task and the knowledge to be able to do that. The relationship part of this is defined as the followers and leadership dependency on each other and the willingness for the particular follower to perform the tasks with the knowledge that they have. Now we're going to go into the next component of these four areas that we've been looking at. So far, the four chair and discipleship model we just covered. We're going to look now at the effective and ineffective leadership styles, and at the end of that, we'll look into the three keys to making disciples. So let's look at what is an effective leader, and who and what is the effective leader. So take just a moment to think about the experiences that you have and kind of define who or what is effective leadership. This is something that we're going to try to discover as we go through the next few slides. The other question I want you to think about as we go along is who or what is an effective leader, and think in mind in the situations that you've been in where the leadership that you were under was ineffective, and what caused it, and what was the results of that. Finally, I want to remind you that, before we move on, leadership is actually in the eye of the beholder. It follows around the situation that's being led, and also who is following, and it's contingent upon a number of variables. To do this, let's look at the next section we're going to talk about is going to be called the contingency theory, and it's going to kind of describe to you the dynamics of the leader and the followers with relationship to the leaders, or I'm sorry, the followers, and the situation is also going to be evaluated by the followers themselves, by the superiors of the leader, as well as the associates, to determine whether or not a particular leader is effective or ineffective with regard to a particular situation. So in the next few slides, we're going to start talking about and looking at the dynamics of what makes an effective and ineffective leader.